The Chicago Bulls started this week off with 4 games on their schedule against teams with below 500 records, many of them with single-digit records. And I came into this week saying that how many games would the Bulls lose in this? This would either be a great week for the anti-takers or it would strengthen the case for the fans that are in favor of tanking. Well, the Bulls went 0 for 4 over the stretch, and I think that this needs to be the biggest wake-up call, not only to the Bulls front office, but for the little bit of fans that were still holding out hope that this team was going to be competitive this season. On today's episode, this post-game show, we're going to kill the competitiveness, the little shreds of it that people still had hopes for with the Chicago Bulls team right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Chicago Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and kill this team. The Chicago Bulls lost today against the Portland Trailblazers, a team that is so outwardly tanking that we knew coming into the season that the Portland Trailblazers would be lucky to sniff 25 wins. The Trailblazers came into this game with 13 wins. They get their 14th win today against the Chicago Bulls. Now, anybody can lose on any given day. It's not just the fact that the Chicago Bulls lost this game that's the most shocking. It's how they lost this game. The Chicago Bulls looked defeated, deflated, and downright distraught in most of this game, whereas the Portland Trailblazers, as this game went on, looked like the most poised team. Again, the team with 13 wins that, yes, has some talent on it, but is a bad basketball team. This is a Chicago Bulls team that just completed the fifth loss in a row, their fourth straight loss against teams below 500. And this was a team that coming into this, some Bulls fans still held out hope that this could be a team that could be competitive. What the Chicago Bulls proved and showed tonight and over this stretch is that it's not there. This is not going to be a competitive basketball team. If it wasn't for the Philadelphia 76ers season being as bad as what it's been, the Bulls would not even be in the play-in right now. This is a team that has no heart. This is a team that looks like it's given up. And before anybody gets to typing, well, Haize, they're clearly tanking. I don't even think that's this. You can tank and still. The Portland Trailblazers were a team that's clearly tanking. The Brooklyn Nets were a team that's clearly tanking. The Washington Wizards are a team that's clearly tanking. These teams had more heart down the stretches of these games than the Chicago Bulls did. The Bulls, unfortunately, are a team that has nothing because they have no leadership. Not in the front office, not on the sideline with their head coach, and definitely not on the court, even with the seasons that Zach LaVine and Nikola Vučević has. This, my people, is a bad basketball team. Once again, the Chicago Bulls lose to a team that we knew coming into the season was going to be bad. Once again, the Chicago Bulls not only gave up over 20 points off turnovers, over 60 points in the paint. This, my people, is a bad basketball team. On top of that, the team that once looked connected in the way that they operated on offense, this team in today's game had 21 assists, and that's it. 21 assists, and a lot of those came later in the game. This, my people, is a bad basketball team. And I need everybody to understand and get on the same page with what this team is and what this team ain't. I get it. Bulls fans had hope, and you should have hope at the start of every season for your team. I'm not trying to condemn anybody for that. Everybody should have faith for the team when the season starts. But at some point, every time, for every season, there is a period of time where you need to come and get real with what your team is. This, my people, is a bad basketball team. I came into this game thinking this post-game show, thinking I was going to go off, thinking that I was going to crash out. But you know what? I sat there and I did some thinking towards the end of this game over the last couple of minutes, and I thought this: why should I give more energy and a crash out to this bad basketball team than what they gave out on the basketball court? Why should I do that? Why should I give the type of energy that I want to see from this team, even in me being frustrated at the state of the team? Why do the Chicago Bulls deserve that? And that is something that every Bulls fan needs to be asking themselves. What does this team deserve from you? Right? What has this team done? What have they given? What have they fought for? What have they competed for? What have they done to show that they deserve the fire that comes with being a part of the Chicago Bulls fan base and fandom? This, my people, is a bad basketball team. And that's just what it is. At this point, you can't condemn, you can't blame, you can't be mad at some point for a team showing you who and what they are. The Chicago Bulls repeatedly over the season have shown us who and what they are. And what is that? Say it with me. The Chicago Bulls are a bad basketball team. And that's just what it is. This not only is just a bad basketball team, this is a bad franchise. It's a cancer. It needs to be cut out. It needs to be, it needs chemo. It needs all of that. It needs to be completely and utterly shut down so it does not continue spreading to the rest of the body. You know who that body is? Me and you, my people. We are that body that helps hold this franchise together, because guess what? If it wasn't for us buying tickets, if it wasn't for us buying merch, if it wasn't for us watching this team on TV, guess what? Would they really even exist at that point? The city of Chicago is one of the largest markets, not just in the United States, but in the world, Craig. In the world. And this team continues to operate and give us the results of a small market team, because you know why? Not only is this a bad basketball team, this is a bad ownership group. This is an ownership group that has lived so long over what Michael Jordan built here, and what Jerry Krause built here, what Scottie Pippen built here. They lived so long off that, and they've been eating so good like fat rats off of it for decades and decades and decades, that at this point, they don't think that they need to be able to give the effort to build a basketball team that is representative of the city of Chicago, that fights and works so hard to support this team and the worldwide fans at that. Because guess what? Again, my people, this is a bad basketball franchise. This is a bad ownership group. So no, I'm not going to crash out. I'm not going to flip out on this team, but I am going to kick it to you real. This, my people, this is what they feel we deserve. And at some point, we got to look at it and say, nah, we deserve more. But first, I need everybody to wake up to what this team is. This isn't just a bad stretch. This isn't just some type of magical stretch that they can work themselves out of. No, this is the results of years of inactivity, bad moves, and just being not developing on top of all of that, bad draft picks and all of that. Listen, I came into the season just as excited and hopeful for Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry to step up, right? And in some ways they have. It's not all on them. I'm not blaming it all on them. I came into the season hopeful that the young rookie, Donovan will be given time and opportunity to grow. You know what Billy Donovan is dead? He's looked at that and given excuses for why Dalen Terry doesn't play down stretches. Julian Phillips didn't get in the game to the third quarter in this. Modest Bucilis, despite us this game clearly being out of the way, only plays 15 minutes. This is not just about the players that are on that court. Make no mistake about it. They do not deserve to be absolved from this either. But the people leading this franchise don't give a damn. And you know why they don't give a damn? Because they're not forced to give a damn. So why should I sit here and crash out over a team that clearly does not give a damn? Because I care. Yes, I do care about the state of the Chicago Bulls. Some would say maybe too much. 1,324 straight days have I sat here in front of you and talked about the Chicago Bulls team. And you know what I've learned over that time? Do you know what I've developed over that time? Is a contentment for this team, because this team does not care as much about us as we do about it. As long as this franchise does not have somebody either running it or owning it that cares more about winning than anything else, guess what? We're going to sit here. We're going to have some flashes. We're going to have some teams that look like they can do something. But ultimately, to get to the goal that we all want to see for this team, guess what, my people? It's not happening. It's just not happening. This is a team that is listless. This is a team that doesn't give a damn. This is a team that you see out there. They get outworked, outcompeted, and out-executed by almost every team that they face. So I need everybody to stay off the high. Right? The high that we had this season was on Derrick Rose night against the New York Knicks, us winning that game, hearing that speech from Derrick Rose, because everything other than that, yeah, we won against the Spurs the next night, but everything other than that, despite some wins, the Bulls aren't going to lose every game, the rest of the 39 games. They're just not. But you know what's going to happen? This team is not going to do anything. That, my ladies and gentlemen, was our Super Bowl. That was our NBA Finals. That was our championship game against the New York Knicks on Derrick Rose night to celebrate one of the children of Chicago, one of the best players in this franchise. That is all we had. What's up, son? What's up?
Trying not to distract anyone.
What's up? What do you need?
I would say that have more water.
Yes, you can get more water. Love you. All right. Peace.
Oh.
What's up? All right, Buddha. Love you. Hey, did you brush your teeth?
Oh, I forgot.
All right. Yeah, despite that brief, and I don't know if I could regain the energy I just had after that, because I'm happy. I just saw my son. Shout out to my son. He always knows how to bring a smile to my face. But in watching this game today, there was a period of time where my brain literally broke. And it broke not because of me not understanding what I was seeing out there, but it more so broke because, once again, how do we end up here? How does a franchise in a city that's so beautiful, well, the city's beautiful, but a franchise that means so much to so many people, not understand what they have in their fan base? How does an ownership group, how does a president of basketball operations look at the passionate Chicago Bulls fans that are around the world, and they look at this product on the court and they say to themselves, this is all right. For these people that give so much to us, this is all right that this is the product that we're going to give them, right? How do they do that? This, at the end of the day, it's just like, it's so utterly disrespectful for the state that this franchise is in. Do you remember when we were complaining about not being able to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but we made it to the playoffs? What was it, 8 out of 10 years? How much would you pay for that now, right? A team that fought hard, that was scrappy, right? That team, even before Derrick Rose got to this team, it was a team that you never doubted the effort that they had. You sometimes doubted the skill. You sometimes doubted how much talent that they had, but you never doubted the effort that the team played with. Say what you will about Scott Skiles, but that team fought and competed under him. Say what you will about Tom Thibodeau. Firing Tom Thibodeau was tantamount to the Chicago Bears firing Lovie Smith. That's what it is. This team is so inept. This team is so they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. And I want every Chicago Bulls fan to understand that this has nothing to do with y'all. It has nothing to do with y'all. Even when you're arguing with other Bulls fans about the state of the team or who should be traded or anything like that, it ain't got nothing to do with us. We, the people here, we have nothing to do with why this team is in such a bad state. We didn't make one single roster decision. We didn't make one single trade. We didn't pick one single draft pick. This is a result of the people who run this franchise that we love not having the same passion that we do for the team that they put out there on the court. That's just simply what it's put. AK can talk all day, give lip service all day to what the city of Chicago deserves, what the fan base deserves. But you say that, and then the results that you put out there, right? What you do to see this team, what you do to improve this team, you literally have basically looked at us and said, hey, Bulls fans, I hear what you want. I see what you deserve, but fuck you. That's basically what this franchise is telling us every single day. We hear Vinny Del Negro too. You are absolutely right, Instro. We see how much you love this team. We see how much you support this franchise. We see how much y'all going to show up to the United Center and sell out the building, but we don't give a shit. We don't give a damn. Like I've said many times, you don't get this place as a franchise unless it's ineptitude at every single level of the franchise. And that is what we're seeing here with Chicago Bulls fans. Every single fan, every single aspect of this franchise has failed us. Every single aspect of it. And I haven't even gotten into talking about the game itself because I'm just sick and tired, right? Again, number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I say that and I say it proudly. And hopefully I live that for you guys. And every single one of y'all deserve better. Every single one of y'all deserve better. And I have no doubt that the Bulls over this next road stretch, they're going to win one of these games, whether it be against the Lakers, whether it be, the Clippers, whether it be against Denver, they're going to win one of these games. And then at the same time, people are going to be reminded again, and they're going to try to start it up again. Well, look, we just beat Golden State. We just beat Denver, or we just beat Boston. We can turn this thing around. No, you can't. You know why you can't? Because nobody at the top cares. Nobody at the top cares. And that's the thing that sucks so much about this, is that nobody gives a shit. The content creators care, some of them just looking for $1. The fans care, because I don't think anybody is staying up here at almost 11 o'clock Chicago time to sit here and chat with me that doesn't care about this team. That's the place that this franchise is in. And it just is what it is. It just is what it is, man. When you see this team on the court not giving effort, that is a result of the place that this franchise is in. That is a result of the work that AK has not put in. And that's just the real aspect of it. It just is what it is, period, point blank. No other way to talk about it. This is a result of what they feel like we deserve. And I need everybody to remember that. This ain't just about a 5-game losing streak. It's not just about that. This is about the place that this franchise has been in. This is the place that this franchise has really been in for 3.5 seasons, because we had one half of a season up until the trade deadline that season of hope. And then we turned around and won 5 out of our last 25 games that season. And ever since then, it's been up and down, up and down, up and down, and a lot more down than up. This Bulls team has gotten worse record-wise every year for the last 3 years. Let that sink in. For a team that's supposed to be getting better, a team that's supposed to be improving, a team that's supposed to be building off continuity, the whole point of building off continuity is to get better off of the pieces that you had. We didn't do that. So then we moved off the continuity. We moved from continuity to competitiveness. This team is so caught up in its sauce that it's trying to sell its fan base on it being competitive because it's in the play-in. The play-in that was created to get a little bit more tickets, to have a little bit of an extra tournament, to help benefit some teams that maybe suffer from injury. But the play-in was not created so the teams that are far away can try to convince themselves that they're closer than what they are. And that's what the Chicago Bulls have allowed to happen for the last 3 years with this franchise. It is what it is. Now, let's get into this game a little bit. I know we're about 20 minutes into this post-game show. The Chicago Bulls shot like shit tonight. 27% from 3. They were 8 of 29. The one thing that I will give them is that they didn't shoot as many threes as they usually shoot. We average over 53, almost 50 threes per game. The fact that we didn't even shoot 30, they recognized early that they needed to attack the paint, right? Now, unfortunately for that, they did score 52 points in the paint, which shout out to the Chicago Bulls, but they gave up 62 points. That's a 10-point differential in the paint. Right. And that's what this game is. The number of differentials, second chance points. They gave up 24 second chance points. We only got 15. That's a 9-point differential. Fast break points. That's supposed to be the Chicago Bulls' bread and butter is pace. We scored 6 points in the paint. They scored 18 points in the paint. Over triple the number of, right at triple the numbers of fast break points that we scored. That's what the Portland Trailblazers did today. Points off turnovers. Chicago Bulls got 13 points off turnovers. The Portland Trailblazers, 19. 19 points off turnovers. Now, the Bulls also looking at this game, they got out-rebounded by the Portland Trailblazers by 14 rebounds. 14 of them. Count them. 14. This is simply put a game of effort today for the Chicago Bulls. Because the Portland Trailblazers are not a more talented team than the Chicago Bulls. But the Portland Trailblazers were able to tune in and beat the Chicago Bulls because you know what? Because they gave more effort. And that's the worst way, in my opinion, to lose a basketball game. You know why that's such a bad way to lose a basketball game? Because effort is the thing that you can control. That's the thing that and listen, there was some bad officiating tonight as well that changed the momentum. I want to be fair in talking about that. There were some of that. But it's not just that, right? We're not going to make it just about that. We're not going to try to blame this just on officiating because that wasn't the only thing that was wrong with this team today. You know why the Portland Trailblazers, they get more foul calls? Because they were more active. because they were more aggressive, because they went after it a little bit more. Every player on this team needs to look at it and figure it the fuck out. This is a lazy, no heart, no passion, no execution, bad coaching ass team. And that's just the real reality of it. I wish I can come here and tell you guys and sell you on some deep calls of why the Chicago Bulls lost this game and how it can be corrected, how it can be fixed. But you know what I saw on tonight? And I saw it's slowly gotten worse and worse over the course of this. This is a team that's broken. There was a point in time that Nikola Vučević went to the sideline. I don't know how many of you guys saw it. He punched a chair. Or more so slammed his towel into a chair, if I'm being accurate in my description. But unfortunately, that frustration from Nikola Vučević does not translate to heart for the rest of the team. All the team meetings, right? How many times over the last few years have we talked about the team having meetings? Whether it's a players-only meeting, whether it's just a team meeting, whether it's just a powwow to discuss where the team is. And how many times has that really changed the results? Right? That's the question that I have. How many times has that really changed the results? The Bulls had a little bit of stretch there in December, right? Last season, where they played okay. They had a little bit of stretch this year in December where they played okay. But that's mainly what we get from this team is stretches of playing okay to distract from the pound of shit that they're serving us on a platter. That's what this is. That's what this has been. That's what this continues to be for this franchise. This franchise continues to serve up shit. Shit. Deep fried twice shit. And I know the Bulls fans are tired. I'm tired right there with you, man. Right there with you. But you know what? And a lot of you guys say this in the comments, and I'm just going to be frank. We can talk about firing AK. We can talk about not showing up at the United Center. We can talk about the billboard. We can talk about all of that. But unfortunately, you know what all that's going to net you? Nothing. Because you know what it still took, despite all those things happening, to remove the last front office? It took for John Paxson to go to Jerry Reinsdorf and say, I don't know how to do my job. And John Paxson is still on payroll. Doug Collins is still on payroll. That's the type of franchise that we have here, people. We have a franchise that's ran by out-of-touch people who care more about the bottom dollar than winning. And that's what we need to just realize, right? It would be great to have an ownership group that cared more about winning than anything else. It would be great to have a president of basketball operations that cared more about winning than anything else. But you know what we have? We have a franchise that cares more about the appearance of winning than actually winning. That's what we have here, people. They care more about giving the appearance of being competitive than actually caring about winning and actually being competitive. That's what we have here. That's it. It's simple. It's period, point blank. Hate to just to dumb it down for everybody, but that is what we have here. We don't have a franchise that cares more about winning than anything else. We don't have that. We don't have that luxury. Mark Cuban isn't walking through that door. He's not. And because of that, we're not going to be that franchise that just toughs shit out and finds a way to build something that can win, because that's what matters. We don't have that type of franchise here, people. We don't have that type of leadership. We don't have it. It's not here, and it's not going to be here. So I would love to be able to come here and talk to you guys about a franchise that I had some confidence in, like, hey, we're going to get this right. You know why we're going to get it right? Because we want to win. I would love to be able to give that rah-rah speech to you guys, but I'm real. And you guys know this. I'm not here to sell you shit. That's not my job. That's not what I came here to do. I came here to talk about my team, my favorite franchise, honestly. And guess what, people? I got to be honest with y'all. This shit is about to get ugly. The rest of this season, mark my words, as the Lord is my witness. This is not even begun to get as ugly as what it's going to get this season. So everybody dig in, pull up your britches, bear down, and get ready for the shit show, because that's exactly what this is going to be the rest of the season. I have no doubt about it. This is about to be one of those years where everybody's resolve is about to be tested. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. We're going to see who really gives a shit about this team this year. Because this, I get it. Everybody, like, there's so many Bulls fans that were holding out hope that thought, hey, listen, we're just the sleeping beast. We're going to wake up. We just need to get this, and this. It ain't coming, y'all. It ain't coming. You might as well give that up if that was your hope. If you were hoping to be able to buy playoff tickets to the UC, yep, it's not happening. It's not happening. Do we deserve it to happen? Absolutely. Every single one of y'all deserves a franchise that gives a shit. But we don't have that. We don't have that. We got an ownership group that cares more about the ticket sales. It just is what it is. This team smells a lot like JDH's mouth right now. Listen. I love y'all, man. And I really wish that I got to talk to y'all about more positivity. But that's where we are. That's where we are, man. And this shit ain't changing no time soon. Do you think Jerry even watches the game, or does he rely on his nightly report from Billy? If so, what do we think Billy tells him? I don't know what Jerry does anymore. I don't even know if Jerry's a real person anymore. They got Jerry in some Bacta tank, sitting back somewhere, with the information tube going to the back of his head. They actually care more about the past. The nostalgia baiting is on. I mean, yeah, because what you gonna sell him? What you gonna sell the fans? You ain't gonna sell them shit with this team. Hey, stop watching the Bulls games. Only tune into your channel and you go off. I'm tired of this team, and this team doesn't deserve my attention because it's a joke right now. Hey, I can't even blame you for that. I can't even blame you for that. Do you think at the trade deadline they will make moves? Listen, I don't. I'm just gonna be 100% honest with y'all. If they do, it's probably minor moves, to be 100% honest with you. I would love to be proven wrong on that. I would love nothing more, because I'm going to be live at the trade deadline. We go live at every trade deadline. I would love to be here sitting down, talking to you guys at the trade deadline and talking about how the team picked a direction. And that's all I'm looking for. I'm not the Bulls fan that's looking for you to all of a sudden turn and turn this team around at this year's trade deadline. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for you to pick a fucking direction. That shouldn't be hard as a fucking franchise to pick a goddamn direction. It shouldn't be that hard. You see what we all see, right? You're seeing all this. You're watching all this. What about this team has given anybody any faith? But you know what's sad is the people that's running the show are the ones that's trying to sell us a 12-pack of shark shit. That's what they're trying to sell us. If you know about shark shit, you know, you'll go research that. You understand that's actually a pretty good joke. That may go over a couple people's head. It's actually a pretty good joke. But that's what they're selling us, is a 12-pack of shark shit. Damn, bro, we was close to the 8 seed at one point. What happened? Listen, I don't give a shit about when people are telling us we're 2 games out of the 6 seed. The fuck? This team is a sad case, y'all. Honestly, in my years of covering this team, this is the worst one. This is the worst one. And again, it's not because of the talent. I'm not coming down on the players. This isn't because of the talent. The team didn't choose. The players didn't choose for the makeup of this team and to be on this team. Well, some of them did, I guess, if they signed here as free agents. But it's just, hey, man, I'm just here so I won't get fired. That's all I can say. I don't know what else it is, man. I don't know what else to say. I really wish I really wish I could tell y'all that something was going to be different about this team. I really wish that I could tell y'all I see the light at the end of the tunnel, but no, we just in the tunnel right now. We're just in the tunnel. And this thing ain't going to correct itself. And unfortunately, the people that are leading this, I don't trust them to correct this. Do y'all? Do y'all got faith in them to correct this shit? Because I don't. What about playing tickets? Laugh my ass with those. No, listen, I don't even think y'all listen. If the team keeps playing like this, I don't even know if they're going to make the play-in. I think Philly is eventually going to put together enough of a run, enough of one. I'm not saying a major one, but enough of one to where they could take the 10th seed. I think that that's a possibility. And Bulls fans want Cooper Flag all they want, but with this front office and ownership, they're not going to do shit with him and but waste time. Man, hey, listen, I feel you on that one. You can't win if you play no defense. That's not true. Look at some of the team's records. Look at what the Pacers did. You can win and not play defense. You're not going to win a title, but you can win some basketball games. It's a mutiny going on, players revolt going on to play bad and lose to get Donovan fired. Giddy Kobe. No, that's not. That's not what's happening. I can tell you right now, that's not what's happening. This is just a bad basketball team. There's no type of plot going on to get Billy Donovan fired. None of that's happening. It's not. That's not what's happening here, man. Damn, worse than the campaign years? Yeah, because that team didn't have talent. If you look at the campaign years, right, we knew that team was shit. Nobody was surprised that team wasn't winning basketball games. Nobody's saying that this Bulls team is some killer that this should be winning 40 games or anything, but they have too much talent to lose in this manner in which they do consistently. It's bad, man. The state of this team is bad. And you know what? Even during the Jim Boylan years, we had our first round picks. Keep in mind, the Bulls may not even get their pick this year. And if they did it this year, they're not going to have it next year. Do y'all think the Bulls are going to all of a sudden be some playoff team next year? So no, when you look at the totality, not just the result on the court, this team is worse off than the Boylan years. At least every year that Boylan was here, we had a lottery pick. Look at how many players we've given. Look at that Orlando Magic team. And how many of those, the pillars of that team, came from our draft picks. At least during the Boylan years, when we sucked, we had our own draft picks. Now, we wasted those picks because none of those players are here anymore except Kobe. Bobby's gone. Gafford's gone. Wendell's gone. Laurie's gone. Chandler Hutchinson sucked ass. But at least you had the picks. You don't even have that to look forward in this year. You don't. You don't have that. So yes, this is worse than the Jim Boylan years. Way worse than the Jim Boylan years. Rick Ortiz. At this point, I would love to see Zach and Vooch go full Jimmy and say that they've lost their happiness and they want out of this dumpster fire. Nobody would hold it against them at this point. I listen. I agree with you, one. I agree with you. If they can fire Billy and change the rotation somehow, they may have. No, they don't. Listen, there's no rotation change that all of a sudden makes this a better basketball team. And they're not firing Billy Donovan. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but they're not firing Billy Donovan. I told y'all back then, go back and look. The moment that Billy Donovan said, I talk to Jerry Reinsdorf every day, I literally got on here and said, oh, we're stuck with Billy for as long as Billy wants to be here. The only way, and I feel very confident in saying this, the only way we ever move off of Billy Donovan is if Billy Donovan pulls a John Paxton and goes to the front office and says, hey, listen, I can't develop these guys. I can't do it. I tried. I can't do it. Other than that, Billy Donovan's going to be here as long as he wants to. They may have just added another year to Billy Donovan's contract because of this game. Haize, if it wasn't for you, mostly C-Dub, Bobby, Steve, Kev, Pat the designer, I don't know how us Bulls fans would have coped during this time. Thank you for being our voices during these difficult times, bro. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. Here's the thing. I don't deserve to be anybody's voice. I'm just listen. I'm just trying to speak to what we see, man. Damn, man, I'm a diehard New York Giants fan and a diehard Bulls fan since 92. Comparisons, both organizations have idiot owners at the top, idiots at GM position, and idiot head coaches. That's crazy. That's crazy. They're not fine. No, Billy Donovan's contract is technically up at the end of next year. He's up at the end of next year, but they're still not moving off of him. Shay in the building. Haize, can you believe these MFers boo Jerry, but shows up to United Center every day to watch these MFers? Hey, man. Hey. It is what it is, y'all. But it sucks, y'all. It really does suck. It really does suck. Haize, I also want to point out, you know who I feel bad for doing all of this? Stacey King. He has to call these games for years through the worst times. It's like, man, I want to see him announce a championship. Remember, Stacey King almost retired when Neil Funk retired. And I would not be surprised if this shit continues, Stacey King does just retire. And it would really suck. It would really suck. Think about some of the Bulls memories of the last 20 years and how many of those were called by Stacey King. Sucks, man. Sucks when you have an inept franchise. One of the issues is that all the players are antisocial introverts. Not one of them has the personality to get into people's faces. And well, that doesn't mean that they're introverts. That's a very different thing. Not all of them are introverts, but like Kobe White is not an introvert, but he doesn't have that. He's not that rah-rah leader. Yell at them to get over themselves when they are refusing to try. Yeah, I mean, we do need that vocal leader. We absolutely need that vocal leader. Not a wake-up call at all, as the Bulls want to stall and ultimately fall to continue to suck at playing basketball. That's not true. Haize, I swear P. Willie has the worst finishing in the NBA, 5 years in the league, and he can't finish when he contested at the rim. Listen, once I saw that video that went over all of how much P. Will misses dunks, it was just like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But all right, y'all, I got to get ready to go over and do Locked on Bulls. Oh, if you think I just went in, you know Pat the designer is about to go in. So y'all make sure y'all go over Locked on Bulls. Hit the subscribe button here before you go out, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. I'm a lot more active on social media. I always used to say the thing holding this show back from really blowing up is my inactivity on social media because I hate it. I've been a lot more active on social media. I try to post polls once a day. I always post the show. Try to be more active during games and live tweeting during games. So make sure you go follow us at Bull Central Pod. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red, don't be red. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.